introduce myself. My name is Atik bin Saad Quraishi. I'm MTech in digital electronics and digital communication, and I work for a multinational company, and I'm also a certified career counselor. At the same time, I try to give my little time to Career Guidance Council, who has been working since last 15 to 16 years to help the aspirants to excel in their career. So, with this short introduction, let's just talk about why Australia. So, previously, if you have seen in the past, like 10 or 15 years before, or uh, much before that, people used to go to America. If they have a dream to go out of India, they only think about America. But as you have seen and witnessed that how the traditional American people are laying off, and with this broken heart, many people who are working in H-1B visa with the aim of getting the green card, and they see that initial hike in H-1B visa cost by the US government has actually put them into a concern where should they go now. But we also have different career opportunities apart from America. We have different countries like China. If you know about China, if you have seen the news, China has recently introduced a new K visa, which is allowing skilled young professionals under 40 with STEM. STEM stands for science, technology, mathematics, like this. So they have opened the work permits without any, needing employer sponsorship. So they are giving the visas in the lotteries, and even the salaries are bit high, bit good. But the problem in China is the culture over there and the food and they don't have multicultural over there. And the biggest problem over there is Chinese language, which most of the Indians they don't know, and it's a bit of concern over there. Then next comes to Japan. Japan also has an agreement with different countries, and they are now inviting about 500,000 people, including the skilled workers as well as the people in the healthcare background. But the problem there as well is, the weather condition is very poor over there. We have multiple. Uh, uh, am I audible?
Yes, yes, Atik bhai, we can
Okay, okay,
hear you.
because sorry for the background noise if you are hearing that. I'm using the high-end.
No, no, it is clear. Your voice is clear. There is no background.
It's clear, right? Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So I was talking about Japan, who has also opened up for the Indian workers. They are currently looking for the 50,000 skilled Indians. And as per the recent program that their university has launched, by 2027, even Japan is also looking for the people over there. But the problem over there is the only thing about the frequent earthquakes that happens over there. So that is also a bit of concern. And next it comes to Germany. I hope you have seen multiple flyers of Germany. People are being invited over there. Students are also looking for the Germany. Uh, if they have the German language certification, they are getting good pay scale as well, and the companies are the good pay master over there. And I got to know that they are providing the permanent residency in less than 22 months. That is less than 2 years. But the only problem and the only requirement that they are looking is the language proficiency, which is German language proficiency. Then it comes Australia. So why the people are more inclined towards Australia is because Australia allows the skilled migrants with a direct permanent residency option through their points-based system. And apart from this, they also have different visa stages. Like we have as we move forward and we go beyond this slide, I'll let you know what kind of visas are we going to talk about and how this is going to polish our career, and which option should we choose. I'll just let you know. I have taken this session in our talent development center here in Hyderabad, and people have appreciated there. And I thought that we can also have this for the online audience, so then they can get benefit out of this. So I was talking about Australia. The main point why people choose over Australia is because of the English language proficiency. We most of the people here, most of the students, they study in the English medium, and it's easy for them to crack the English language proficiency, though it's IELTS, though it's Pearson Test of English, though it's TOEFL, whatever it is. And the best part over there is the competitive salaries we get over there in Australia, also the good climate. I've been to Australia thrice in last 2 to 3 years, and I have noticed the high quality, uh, the area over there and the good climate with the high quality healthcare education. Also, I've seen that the people who are struggling since a decade are now being granted with the permanent visas. The people who went there for in a student visa, using the student visa, which is uh, the 600 visa, I guess. So they are now getting the permanent residencies. But there is a shortcut to that as well. So I'll let you know what is that shortcut and how we can proceed further. So with this overall introduction, uh, we can say that in conclusion, out of among these countries which we have talked about, China, Japan, Germany, and Australia and United States. So Australia seems to be a good choice for the students. Uh, the only reason, the reason being the mass migration from India and the various countries to Australia because we have a multicultural over there. So, what kind of visas the Australian government provides? So, let's talk about that. Okay. So, now if you see here in the next slide, okay, this is about Career Guidance Council. You know about this CGC. We have been helping students since last 15 years. So, I'll not spend much time over here. So, let's talk about the career in Australia and what are the different pathways and what are the visa requirements and how much budget you require and what are the different opportunities that you get in the mainstream and also in the regional areas. Let's talk about that. Okay. The as I have explained that we only have the reason why people mostly select Australia is because of the high quality life and Australia has been consistently ranked among the world's top countries for the quality of life and the healthcare. Apart from that, they have the strong economy and the multicultural society. You see people all across the globe over there, and you see multiple people speaking mostly in English, but they are very friendly. They come to Australia to get their bread and butter, and mostly you see people very friendly over there. Okay, and they also have a world class education in Australia. So if you wanted to, if you have a plan to go to Australia, and if you have a dream that I should pursue my career in Australia, then I would, divide this into two different pathway. First is the study one. The second one is the direct job. How it works is, let's say if you have completed graduation in India, in Hyderabad, so you have almost spent about your 15 years of education over here. You are also graduate now, and you go for masters over there. So what happens if you go to Australia with the master degree? You will have to showcase. We'll see that in detail as well in the upcoming slide, but I'm just giving you the brief information. So the pathway is you start with the study visa. You get the study visa, but you will have to showcase uh, the budget as well. Approximately you will have to showcase approximately about 28 lakhs or 18 lakhs, and at the same time you would require the language proficiency as well. But once you go over there, you will not have a white collar job. You will have to do the odd jobs at the same time. Studying and earning gets difficult. So what people mostly chooses is the direct job pathway. So what is direct job pathway? So this is a skilled migration nomination scheme where people get the job through employer sponsorship. This is the first type of visa where people get the employer sponsorship. And then the second type under direct job pathway is the points based selection where the people, let's say the person who is working in a multinational company or any company who has gained approximately about 3 to 5 years of experience, now he can directly apply for the direct job from here. Okay, so this will help him to get and land the job over there directly, which is which will benefit them, and it will allow them to work for as a full-time employee. At the same time, they'll get the handsome salary. Apart from that, they'll see they get the direct PR as well. So what are the different types of visa under direct job pathway? We are going to discuss about that as well in upcoming slides. Okay, so far so good. If you have any doubts, please let me know, and if you have any questions, then I'm ready to take it now, or else we can proceed further. Please use the chat option and let me know if you are good to go, or if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, thank you so much. So let's go ahead. Okay, so let's talk about the study pathway. So under study pathway, once you go for masters, okay, after 2 years of study, you will be allowed to work for uh, work after your study. That is called as post-study visa, and you will get the subclass 485 visa, where you will be allowed to work for 2 years full time, and you can earn handsome salary after your studies. But the time while you're studying, at that point of time, you will be given only 24 hours to work in a week. So we have about full-time employee, they usually work 40 to 45 hours per week. But if you are working as a student, you will have to attend the university for 3 days, and you will be allowed to work only for 24 hours. Okay, though you will not have the classes on the daily basis, but you are allowed to work for 24 hours. So it will be very difficult. I've seen the people struggling over there who are struggling to get their visa fee or their university fees, their semester fee. The moment they complete one semester, they will have to pay the fees in advance. They'll not allow. And the scholarship, sometimes few universities provide scholarships and few universities doesn't. So it will be very difficult over there. So usually what people do is people they study over there with the help of their parents. They try to get the sponsorship from their parents, or they take loan. After 2 years, when they get full-time visa, they get full-time job. Then because they are allowed to work for 40 hours, 45 hours per week, so they can earn good amount of good amount over there. So, but the problem for this is if you have taken loan for 18 lakhs or 20 lakhs, after 2 years you will have to pay a huge interest, which people don't recommend, and even I don't recommend over there. So, but if you have that zeal, few I've seen few students who are working as well as they are attending the universities classes, they do the project as well. And the project that we do here in India, in Hyderabad, is much different than the project they do over there. They have the plagiarism over there. If you are caught using the plagiarism, if you are the plagiarism software is so advanced that they can easily catch you and you will be disqualified. So it's a bit difficult over there. So let's proceed further and try to understand which type of visa should we go for if you have a dream to pursue your career in Australia. Should we go with the study visa first and go for the PR, or should we apply for a PR directly from here? Okay, let's talk about those pros and cons. So if you are going the study visa, then you will be given subclass 400. See whatever you see over there. Okay, post study visa subclass 485, subclass 186, subclass 189, 491. These are the visa categories and the visa types. So most of the people over there, they talk about, they don't say I have post study visa. They don't take I have employee sponsored visa. They only talk about the numbers. Okay, on which visa you are? Someone says I am in 189, I'm on 491, I'm on 186, I'm on 485. So people use these terms so that they get to know what kind of visa category they currently hold. Okay. So if you are applying for the study visa, then the major thing is that you will uh, apply from here itself directly. Then few these days, the good news is the India is now ranked in the in the top second level category now. Previously, it was in the top third level. What is second level, third level? Previously, the students who used to apply for the student visas used to get many rejections because people were using the fake documentation, you know, and that has caused our India to get down to the level three. But luckily, good that now we have come up to level two. We will not have that kind of inquiries these days like we used to have before. And sometimes I got to know that they are ignoring the few universities are not asking for the budget as well. Previously, they were asking for 18 lakhs of the budget which we need to show in our bank. But now that is not being asked at the initial point of time. But at the later point of time, when we get the before the visa grant, they are asking it. So in turn, you will have to showcase the this uh, your budget as well. You showcase this one. So once you are done with 2 years study, then you will be granted 485 visa, where you will be allowed to work for 2 years. That will be initial 2 years visa, and later on you will get the Australian work experience. Then once you get the Australian work experience, in order to get the permanent residency, you will have to apply for the skills assessment. What is skills assessment? Skills assessment is whatever studies that you have done in India and whatever studies that you have done in the Australia. Okay, so that will be calculated and that will be seen, that will be judged by a body. If you are under engineering, then we have different, Engineers Australia is a unit where they assess your degree. Whatever studies that you have done in India, are these studies fulfill? Are they good for the permanent residency? They basis on that they'll give you the points. What are the required points required? What are the points required? We'll see that in the upcoming slides. So in the skills assessment, you will have to apply for, you will have to showcase all the documentation of your, your degrees, right from the intermediate. If you have done in English medium, that's well and good, and you will be judged upon that. So they'll validate saying that okay, the degree that you have done in India and the degree that you have done in Australia, both are relevant or not. Okay, so they judge you on this, and after that, then you will be asked to apply for the EOI. What is EOI? EOI is expression of interest, that you are lodging the expression of interest saying that I'm interested in so and so stream. So how will you apply through that? So there will be a skills occupation list which will be given every year by Australian government, saying that if you are going to work under XYZ scheme, XYZ stream, then you have to study in that particular stream. For example, I am an IT engineer. Yeah, I see some chats over here. What about software developer jobs or for those who have experience in India? We'll talk about that, Mas. Inshallah, we'll talk about that. Okay. Good question. So let's park that question over here. We'll talk that in the upcoming slide. Okay. We have the slide among the software engineer for software developer. Okay. We'll talk about it. So we were talking about the points-based system. So what happens is, let me see if I have that slide over here. I have that slide. Things. Yeah, this is the point which I'm talking about. Okay. So the skills occupation list is what I'm talking about is this one. Australia will have the skills occupation list which they share every year, saying that we have the top demand fields of studies these days, and if people are aspiring, students are going for these fields, then they are eligible for the permanent residency. So the top fields these days are engineering, information technology, healthcare, and education. These are the top four and top five. Accounting is also the comes under top five. So some in 2025, we have seen the health sciences was in the top, and engineering was in the second one, and then comes information technology. But I got to know that in 2026 it's going to be healthcare again in the top. Then it comes the information technology, and then the accounting, and then the engineering. So whatsoever, what all fields you see over here, so these are the mainstream, fields of study. If you study these, uh, you know, uh, occupations, then you'll get the permanent residency option over there. Because not every field have the permanent residency option these days. Previously, it used to have, but not now these days, because they want the skilled workers under these streams, and they have the scarcity of the people. They have scarcity of engineers, civil, electrical, mechanical, and software, and they have scarcity of computer science engineer and the data science engineer. They also have scarcity of nursing and physiotherapy. So what all you see over here, these are the people who are getting the permanent residency in less time. Less time means at least they have to spend about 2 years to get the permanent residency. So that is less time. And I've seen people who are struggling for last 8 to 10 years to get the PR. So this is how the student visa, and this is struggling. We have to struggle a lot if you apply for the student visa. Apart from that, there is another visa stream where people get the visa very easily, but they have to be very patient. I repeat, it's easy to get, but we have to be patient. Patient, and they'll test your patience in such a way that you'll have to wait for approximately about 2 to 3, 4 to 5 years to get the permanent residency, to get selected under this particular stream. And how does this work? We are going to see that in the upcoming slide. Okay. For the study visa, as I talked about that, you will have to apply for the enrollment, then you will have to show the financial requirement, and 21,000 is dollars is the fees per year. So if you are paying this huge amount of fees, then you will have to earn that as well. And 24 hours per week will be insufficient. So I would suggest to go with the second stream, which is 491 and 189 stream, which you see on the right hand side. Okay. So how does that work? 189 and 491? We are going to talk about it. Okay. So as you see here in the visa pathway column, we have 189, 190, and 491. We are going to talk about what is 189, what is 190, and what is 491. 189 visa is something that you apply for a permanent residency. And using that permanent residency, once you are granted the visa, you are free to work anywhere in Australia. Anywhere in Australia, you are free to work. But in 190, few people, what happens, you see this slide, right? So you will be given points basis on your age, your English language ability, your work experience, and your qualification, Australian study, and other factors. So what are they? Let's say if you are aged between 25 and 32, you will be given the highest points. So whosoever is right now under 25 to 32 years, and they are currently working here in India, and they have about 3 to 5 years of experience, this is a good time for them to apply for the permanent residency visa. And how does that work? We are going to see that in the upcoming slides. Okay. So if you are, let's say you are getting uh, 30 points under your age criteria, and English language ability, you are getting 10 points. If you are scoring IELTS 7 bands or PT 65 plus, you are getting 10 points. That comes to 40 points. And the work experience, let's say if you have about 3 or 4 years of experience, then you will get 10 points over here. Okay. So if you get 10 points, so then it comes to 30 plus 10, 40, 40 plus 10 is 50. Then education qualification, if you have completed bachelor degree, then you will get 15 points. So 30 plus 10, 40, 40 plus 10, 50, 50 plus 15 is 65. So the minimum criteria for you to apply for the permanent visa, PR visa, is 65 points. But let's say there are other factors which can give you the added advantage, which can give you the bonus points. And the more points you get, more easy will be to get your file selected. For example, you are electrical engineer, and you are sitting at 65 points because the minimum point requirement is 65. But there is another person who has scored IELTS 8 plus bands or PT 79 plus, then he's going to get additional 10 points, right? So you are sitting at 65 points, he's sitting at 75 points. You are electrical engineer, he's also electrical engineer. His file will be selected first basis on the points criteria. At the same time, you see at the bottom that there are certain other factors by which you can get additional points. For example, if your partner is also working and you get your skill assessed for your partner as well, you're going to get additional 10 points. So the person X is sitting at 65 points, and if you're scoring 8 plus bands in IELTS, you will get 75. And again, if you take 10 points over there, you'll get 85. So it will be high chances for you to get selected your file very easily. At the same time, if you see that your partner has also written the IELTS examination, then you're going to get 5 additional points. Okay. Likewise, in this 190 stream, what you see over here, this 190 this 190 visa is like that. You're going to get additional 5 points from the state. What are those states? So these are the states. You see here, there are different states. The first is Northern Territory. You see here Northern Territory, then is Western Australia, then this is Western Australia, this is South Australia, this is New South Wales, and this is Victoria, this is Queensland. You see, these are the states who offer 190 visa sponsorship, and they'll tell you that okay, you are electrical engineer, I'm in need of electrical engineer, I'll give you additional 5 points, and please see to it that once you get the visa, then you're going to work in our state only. You're not allowed to, if you get the invitation from Queensland, you're not allowed to work in Melbourne or Adelaide or New South Wales or South Australia. No, you're not allowed. But if you get 189 visa, you are free to work anywhere in Australia. And there comes another interesting point, that is 491 visa. So what this 491 visa is, in this 491 visa category, you are going to get additional 15 points from, we'll see here. See, for the state or the territory nominated under 491 visa, you are going to get additional 15 points. So if you are sitting at 65 and if you get additional 15 points, then you're going to get 80 points, right? 65, 75, 80. Yeah. So you are at 80 points. Somebody is at 65 points. Who will be selected? You. But there is one condition for 491 visa. What is that? If you are nominated by one state, then you are allowed to work only in that state. For example, you are given this 491 invitation from Queensland, then you are only allowed to work in Queensland. So what people do is they go for 491 visa because selection criteria for 491 is very easy. But this is not permanent visa, permanent residency. But this is pathway to permanent residency. What is that pathway to permanent residency? That means initially, once you get the 491 visa, you will get and you will be allowed to work for 5 years in Australia in that particular stream in that particular area, that state. Let's say if you get the invitation from New South Wales, okay? In New South Wales, you'll have to stay in regional only. Sydney is not the regional area. Apart from Sydney, you have to stay in any other area like Broken Hill or Wollongong or Newcastle or Portmarnock or Gold Coast. So these are the different regional areas in New South Wales. So what is the difference between 190 and 491? In 190, you can work anywhere in this particular state if you are invited from New South Wales. If you are invited from South Australia, you are allowed to work in any area under 190. But in 491, you are not allowed to work in the main city, but in regional areas. So even they say that is regional area, but you will get good opportunities in regional areas as well. Okay, because the population, uh, the government is looking for the people in their regional area because they see that there is a huge crowd in the major cities, so they don't want people to come to their major city. They want to migrate. They want to invite the people in their regional areas so that they wanted to settle down population over there. Okay, so that is the difference between 189, 190, and 491 visa. So under 491 visa, you will be allowed to work for under 491 visa, you will be allowed to work for 5 years, and that will be family visa. You can get your family over here. You can get your children over here. You will get the free Medicare. You will get free schools as well, and all those facilities that people get for 190 and 189. You will get the same luxuries for 491 as well, but you will have to stay in regional area. So what Australian government says is, what is regional area? There are three major cities which is called as non-regional area. That is Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. Apart from these three states, all the different locations which are mentioned in the screen are considered under regional areas. I repeat, only three states, only three cities, Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. Only three cities are considered as non-regional areas. Apart from that, what all names you see over here are under regional areas. I got a question here. What about software developer jobs? Experience India. They'll get, okay, this after 2 years or 1 year, we can change the employer. Yeah, you can change the employer as and when you require. If you want to work for 1 year, you're free to move after 1 year, no issues. But again, that depends upon your visa category. If you are under 189, you are free to work anywhere in Australia. If you are under 190, you will have to work in that particular state. But if you are under 491, you will have to be in that particular state, but that in regional area. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so let's get back to the slide. Okay, so this is the slide which I'm going to talk about now. Few more questions. Yeah, okay. So what is skilled migration and employer sponsored? So if you see here, let me just hide the screen. Like floating mode control. Okay. Okay. So in order to get the direct job, there are two different streams. One is skilled migration, another is employer sponsored. For employer sponsored, if you are working in India, okay, there are few employers who wanted to hire civil engineers. Let's say they want to hire civil engineer. So they cannot directly apply, ask for the civil engineers from India or from any other country. They will have to showcase the government that they have searched for civil engineers in complete Australia and they did not find any of the civil engineers which they are looking for, and you hence they want to call civil engineers from different countries with that particular skill set, and they are if they are convinced, if the Department of Home Affairs, that is called as Doha, if they are convinced that okay, there is really scarcity of the civil engineers in Australia, then they are allowed to ask to get the civil engineers outside of Australia. That is nothing but employer sponsored visa, which is 482, 186, 494, which are the direct pathway to PR. What is skill migration? We just talked about skill migration, which is 189, 190, and 491. Okay. So this is the difference between the skilled migration and the employee sponsored. But there is good point in 494 employee sponsored is you don't have to write the IELTS over there. If employer want uh, that if employer says that okay, this is the only person that I'm looking for, he's extra talented and he is the only guy who can work for my project, and he if the employer is able to convince the Department of Home Affairs, then you are getting the golden opportunity to work in Australia, and after 2 years, you will be eligible for getting the permanent residency, provided that your employer should sponsor you. Okay, so we have talked about the student visa, we have talked about the skilled migration visa, we have talked about the employee sponsorship visa. We are going to talk about the same visa categories, but in some detail. Okay, now there are different types of visa under job category as well. So, what are they? For example, if you are getting the job offer directly from the employer, okay, but that is not permanent residency, you will be allowed to work. Sometimes they give the family visa, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you're allowed to get your family, sometimes you're not. So what happens is, after getting the 494 sponsorship visa after 2 years, if the employer is sponsoring you, okay, I'm happy with your services. You have worked for us for 2 years, and we see to it that you should continue to work in our company. So they can extend the visa, or else they can ask you to apply for the permanent visa, and that is nothing but 191 visa, which is permanent residency. After 494, you will get 191 visa. After 2 years, you will have to showcase that. I mean, your employer has to let the Doha know that, okay, this is the skill set which I'm looking for, and the person who has been working for us for last 2 years is the person I'm looking in upcoming years as well. So I wanted to sponsor him for the permanent visa, permanent residency, and he'll sponsor you, and you can apply for 191 visa directly, and then you will have to write the IELTS and all the stuff. But apart from that, the visas that you see on the right hand side, 491 visa, okay, 189 is the direct PR visa, permanent residence visa. 190 is also the direct permanent residence visa. But 491 is not the permanent residence visa, but you are allowed to work for 4 years, and after four, you're allowed to work for 5 years. But in that 5 years, if you stay in the same regional area for approximately about 2 to 3 years, then you will be allowed to apply for 191 visa, where you don't have to write the IELTS or PT again, because you have already written that IELTS PT in the 491 category. Okay. So once you get the 191 visa, the permanent residency visa, you are free to move anywhere in Australia. You can work anywhere, you can stay anywhere. There is one twist over here. And one serious thing is, let's say if a person who has applied for 190 visa by one particular government, you see, we work under Indian government, right? We have central government and we have state government. So this is the state government over here. The state government of New South Wales, NSW, state government of Queensland, state government of Northern Territory, state government of Western Australia. But if you're caught, if you're on 190 visa or on 491 visa, if you're caught working in any other state, then the rules are so strict that your visa will be cancelled, you will be moved out of Australia. And if the visa is cancelled, it is very difficult to get the visa again. Trust me, it's very difficult. I've seen people struggling for getting the visa who have been rejected with the visas in the past. They, they cry a lot, because in India we are habituated to to break the rules, and the same thing we try to apply over there as well, but that's not going to work at all. So we have to be very, you know, very, what we can say, that these they will not going to, there is a slogan over there: don't be sorry, don't be sorry, but claim. What does it mean is, if you are caught, if you are saying sorry, they'll not allow you. But if you let them know, if you let the Australian government know that, okay, so and so weather conditions are not good, I'm not able to cope up with the weather condition, for that reason I cannot stay over here, I'm moving there, so please grant me the access. So if you let them know, then there are high chances that they'll agree to it. They'll give the permission to work in any other area. But if we don't seek permission and work any other apart from the nominated designated area, then it will be very difficult for us to cope up over there. Somebody is drawing on the screen. Please don't draw. Okay, I think I got a question. What is the patient's visa you are talking about? This is the 491 visa I'm talking about. Let me give you an example. There was a person who was struggling for the 491 visa since last 8 years, has been given 491 visa recently in August or July. He was trying since 2018. He applied for the 491 visa category. He was before applying for a visa, he'll have to show the expression of interest. I think I have that slide over here. Mm, okay, I'm not able to find that. Anyways, so let me take that example, and by this example, it will be easier for you to understand. See, people who were applying before COVID, they had to wait for a long period of time to get the particular visa category because they applied for the expression of interest. After applying for the expression of interest, they did not get the invite from the Australian government to apply for the visa. So they had to reapply because each expression of interest is valid only for 1 year. You will have to refresh that after 1 year if you're not getting the invitation from the government after 1 year. How does this work? I'm going to talk about that now in detail. Okay. So let's say you are an engineer working in India. So first you will have to apply for the skills assessment in which you are going to convince the skills assessment body saying that what all studies that I have done in India are similar to the skills occupation list which you have showed. I'm talking about the skills occupation list. Okay, I just showed you right. Yeah, this is the skills occupation list. Each category that you see over here, civil engineer, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, software engineer, these are the different skills occupation list. I'm going to share that now on the screen. Let me just browse the internet to show you the skills occupation list which current government is looking for. In the meantime, if you have any questions, then you can just let me know. Okay. PDF. So each skills occupation, let me know if you are able to see my screen. Is it visible? Yeah. So what all skills occupations that you see here, like if you are applying for chief executive or managing director, then the skills occupation underscore code is 111 and 111. If you're applying for a software engineer, let us look for software engineer. That this is the skills occupation number for software engineer. So what is software engineer? So you will have to let them know that what all studies you have in under skills occupation list. You if you want to apply for software engineer visa, then you will have to convince the skills assessment body that what all studies that you have worked that you have studied in India are matching to your job. If you are working as an accountant here, you cannot apply for software engineer in Australia because the studies that you have done here in India is different than the job that you are going to apply or the visa that you are going to apply in Australia. You will have to apply in the same category which you have studied for. If you're a doctor in India, you cannot be engineer in Australia. If you're engineer in India, you cannot be doctor in Australia. Okay. But if you are studying in Australia, for example, you have studied engineering in India. And let's say if you want to change your profession. No, I'm not interested in engineering anymore. I want to go to healthcare sector because Australian government is giving the visas easily for the healthcare sector. So you will have to study that healthcare sector in Australia and then get your degree assessed that you have studied in Australia about your skill, about the skills occupation list, and my skills are matching with your skills occupation list under medical, let me, healthcare. So this is registered nurse, family and healthcare registered nurse. So my skills are matching with 254413. So please allow me to apply for EOI, expression of interest. Now, then they'll assess your degree. Then they'll tell you, okay, you have already studied in India, but you were engineer in India, but you have studied different studies in the Australia, and in Australia you have studied healthcare sciences. Okay, good to go. Yeah, now we'll give you the points for that. So once you get the skills assessment positive, you will be awarded points for that as well. That we have seen in the screen, right? In the points category is that. Yeah, this is the one. Education qualification. You will be given 20 points if you are PhD. You will be given 15 points if you are bachelor or masters. You will be given 10 points if you are only diploma. So what people do here is, if they are engineer in India and if they want to apply by seeing the skills occupation, okay, people, Australian government is now only accepting the healthcare, then getting the PR in healthcare is very easy. So they do diploma over there and work under the same stream, then apply for the skills assessment, then get the positive skills assessment, then apply for expression of interest. Once we apply for expression of interest, we will be, our file will be picked up by the different states asking for, okay, we have the requirement for so and so engineer or so and so healthcare nurse. You are requested to apply for a visa. Then you will have to pay the visa fees and apply for the visa over there. Okay, we have got a few questions here. Can someone who stay? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can apply for the other streams in logistics as well, but provided that should be under this particular list. Let's see if we have logistics over here. Logis. Yeah, we have the psychologist. Okay. Logistics. No, sorry, logistics is not there. You will have to go by this particular dictionary. This is your dictionary. What all skills occupation lists you see here, these are the only core skills occupation lists under which you will be granted permanent visa, PR. Only you are eligible for the PR for these particular streams. And this is not one page here. This is huge. Okay, I think I've answered this question. Then can someone who is staying in Australia apply for university admission for someone who is currently in India? That you will have to ask the migration agent, buddy. I'm not. I can give you the answer, but it's better somebody who is proficient in under this. But just to answer your question in one line, I can say that nobody can sponsor for student visa. That I can say. But if you want to, if you have good links in university, then you can ask for it. Let me just take a sip of water. Thank you so much, Javed bhai. Such a detailed expression. Can you check for financial technology? Financial. We have financial investment over here. Financial technology is not there. Let me do one thing. Let me just copy and paste that in this chat so that you can look for it for yourself. You have forgotten saying about the example. Okay. So I was taking the example. Yeah, I got diverted with this question. So what I was talking about is there was one person who was applied in 2018, but he was sitting at 65, he was sitting at 70 points, but at that point of time there were few other people in the same category in the same skills occupation list. He was engineer, I guess. So he was sitting at 70 points, and there are few other people who were sitting at 85 points or 90 points. So he was not invited. So he applied for each every year. Every year, the moment his expression of interest got expires, then he reapply and redo his IELTS and everything, and he keeps his particular file ready. But suddenly, the disaster came, COVID. So 2020 and 2021, it was a huge nightmare for each and everybody. So there were no more invitations from the government. But in 2022, the Australian government changed. The election happened and Australian government changed. And after the Australian government changed, they were inviting in huge. So the people who were waiting and sitting at 70 or 75 points or 65 points, even they were invited. So now he has applied, he has started applying in 2018, but his file was selected. But one thing what he has done is he has submitted his file, he has kept his file updated each and every year. His IELTS score was up to date because IELTS lasts for only 3 years, I think 2 years. And after every 2 years, you will have to rewrite the exam and get the same score, 7 bands, 8 bands, whatever is the requirement. But the best point is he has kept his file updated, and one fine day in 2022, his file was selected. And once his file was selected, he got the invitation from two different states for 491 visa. One was from Northern Territory, and another one was from Australian Capital Territory. What are they? Northern Territory, Australian Capital Territory. I'll let you know. Yeah. So this is the Northern Territory. I'm sorry. Should have used mouse here. Yeah, this is the Northern Territory, and Darwin is the capital of Northern Territory. And another invite he got from Australian Capital Territory. You see here, right? Invite Capital Territory. This is Australian Capital Territory, and Canberra is uh, the capital of Australia. Most of the people they think that Sydney could be the capital of Australia, but it's not. Canberra is the place which is the you know good place actually. I've been there. So his file was selected in 2022, and when he had applied for the visa, it took about approximately 2 years or 2.5 years for him to get the visa allotted. But the best part is, until that 2000, since 2018 to 2015, his he studied in India and he worked in India for approximately 10 to 15 years, and he was supporting his family as well. He was supporting his parents as well. And luckily, he got this invitation from two different states. Then he has applied for Canberra because Northern Territory is bit. This is hot city, like Saudi Arabia. It's very hot over there, and most of the Australia is covered with either sand or you see huge rocks over there. Okay, so let me proceed with the questions because we have only 5 minutes over here. Now, let me talk about two more points which I want to talk about and which is very important. So, the one best thing what you see over here is the person who has applied for, yeah, this is the one. The person who has applied for study visa, let's say in 2018, who has applied for study visa. Okay. And he got the study visa. He went to Australia. He struggled for 2 years. And after 2 years, he could not, what all loan that he has taken from bank, he could not, repay. pay back the bank loan, and his interest got increased. And after studies, he got another 2 years of visa. In that 2 years of visa, he has worked hard and tried to pay his loan back, but he's away from his parents, he's away from his wife, he's away from his everybody. Because if you're a student, you can call your wife on the dependent visa, but the expenses will be huge for your university that you will not be able to take care of your own expenses and your family expenses. The moment you get married, again, your expenses of your children, everything will be doubled or tripled. But the person who has been working in India and applied for 491 or 191 or 491 or 199 or 190 visa, he is enjoying here in India, working with a good, handsome salary, enjoying with his parents, attending each and every gathering, the nikah and walima and whatnot here in India, and he is enjoying a lot. But one fine day, once he gets the visa, then he goes to Australia. And once he goes to Australia, he do not have much, problem over there because he have enough balance over here that he has been working since last 8 to 10 years. He has enough bank balance, and now he's free to go to Australia with the what all money he has earned over here. So, to my understanding, if you want to go abroad, though it's Australia or Germany or US or Canada, wherever you want to go, you are free to go over there. But the thing is, ensure that you're taking care of your family and your money as well at the same time, your budget. Because if you are not financially sound by 30s or 35s, it will be very difficult for you to cope up after 30 to 35 if you're not financially sound. So what I recommend is, instead of going for the study visa and working like a dog over there, it's better to stay in India, work in whatever field that you are interested in here, and with the experience that you have got over here, apply for the permanent residency directly. Once you get the permanent residency, you will be free to work anywhere in Australia with the different visa categories that I have shared. With this, I request Brother Shoaib, sir, to please, you can unmute the people and they can have the questions over here.
Okay, Atik bhai, I am just stopping first recording.
Okay.